what's going on in bargaining that I can maybe, filter back through. Remember, SEIU1000 website.org has the latest information. So, Kara, I can't remember Kara's last name. Kara Haynes is our representative from SEIU1000 for representation and for representation. Organizing.
Yeah.
Okay, Kara, go ahead.
So hi everybody, I'm the new Keith Carter. I guess Keith was your guys' old rep. And I'm not new to SEIU. I've been here for about 3 years, but I'm new to this building. And I've met some of you. I look forward to meeting each of you eventually. And let's see, I want to introduce Inga, who's going to talk about membership and why it's important to be a member. And it looks like, I think somebody is filming, which is okay. I just didn't want anyone to be alarmed, feel comfortable, ask questions. And so Inga's going to get us started.
Okay, thanks, Kara.
Thanks, Inga.
We're really happy to have Kara at the Ziggurat building. She's really dynamic and a great organizer, so we're just thrilled to have her here. All the DLC shop stewards or officers, the DLC is the District Labor Council, includes CalSTRS in this building and several other buildings. Will everybody stand up or raise your hand? And will you say your name and your title? That way you'll know somebody to connect with here to the union.
I'm Michael Cripps. I'm with this DLC 787. I'm the Seabird. So, this is my title.
Will you not use initials, use the whole thing so people know? Because I'm not sure they know what it's.
Elected bargaining unit representative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
James, you introduced yourself. Chuck, will you introduce yourself as a shop steward?
Oh, Chuck Dio. What was I supposed to say? Oh, I work in PD on the second floor of this building.
And Chuck's a shop steward. Is there any other? Renee?
Renee Prince. I work on the second floor.
Great. Marissa?
I'm Marissa Truax. I work in procurement division, and I'm the DLC treasurer. I haven't done anything yet.
Just coming on board. Anybody else? Maria?
So I'm Maria Patterson. I'm actually, I work for Department of General Services. I'm vice chair of bargaining at 15 Allied Workers. I'm part of the bargaining team, and I'm a steward out of EDD in Stockton.
I'm Keith Anderson. I'm part of the bargaining team. I'm from Unit 15 Franchise Task Force in New York.
And I'm Inga Olson. I'm the vice president of our district labor council and the chief steward. So if you want to become a steward, talk to me. And I want you to know, like in terms of steward activities, you can help with the monthly speaker series. You can help with these. You can help with representation issues, everything under the sun, and we can work with your time schedule. So just talk to me. Let's have coffee if you think you might be interested. You want more information. Now I just want to have we have an action team that's helped organize the speaker series and helped organize health events. Will those people either stand up or raise your hand and introduce yourself? Hannah, you called. So you have a mouthful. Yolanda, you go first.
Thanks. I'm Yolanda Ted. I work in the Office of Small Business and DVD Services, and I assisted with some of the monthly series, or they're not really monthly, but the series that we had. It's been a lot of fun and lots of really good turnout.
Great. Rose, you're standing up. Will you introduce yourself?
What do I do? I help. Anytime Inga sends me an email, I say, sure, I can do it. I'm in procurement division.
Tamisha.
My name is Tamisha Swanson. I work in the Office of Small Business, a little corner room over there on the first floor. And yeah, I jump in every once in a while. I'll see the email and go say something. I'm like, okay, I'll be there.
Laura.
Laura Miranda, contract fiscal on the 6th floor.
Okay, who am I missing?
And Tom.
Who am I missing?
I was going to say Kim Hawking and procurement also helps her out, but she's on the project right now. Trying to get away.
Yeah, we have a big list of people, but anyway, these are the people here, and Marissa and Renee are really key on the action team too, but they've already spoken as officers. So that's your DLC team, so you know who to look for if you need some help. There's also a sheet out there that has all the DLC shop stewards and officers on it. It's on this table right behind Maria on the other side. So in terms of, I just wanted to say, in terms of being a member versus a fair share employee, the benefits of being a union member are that you get to vote. If you're only fair share, you don't get to vote, and this is a critical time because the contract's coming up. You also, when we have greater membership, we have greater power at the bargaining table, which means the more power we have at the bargaining table, the better contract we're gonna get. And you see this handout here, you see that we've had a drought in terms of wage increases. So we need power at the bargaining table in order to have a wage increase to compensate all these decreases that we've had over the last decade. So, and then also there's discounts on insurance, movies, iPhones, you name it, there's a lot of discounts. So there's, and probably more than that is there's like opportunities, like all of us working together. It's really actually kind of fun, like the speaker series that we put together, has assembly members. It's really fun to get to know them. It's really interesting. There's a lot of different roles, whether you want to just put up flyers or you want to be the liaison with the assembly member's office. There's lots of stuff to do, so, just talk to any of us if you'd like to get involved. So that's the benefit of being a member. What does it cost? Like if your monthly salary, say, is $5K, then it would cost you 30 cents a month more to be a member than it would be to be a fair share. So for 30 cents a month more, it's a no-brainer, be a member. So let us know if it's, on the SEIU Local 1000 website, there's membership applications, but just grab us in the hall, we'll bring you one. If you're a fair share and not a member, be a member. Really, just be a member. It gives you so much more clout to be a member. So with that, I want to introduce Marissa, who's there's a town hall this Saturday. You all see this thing here. It's the town hall is this Saturday, and there's also advertised a June 5th rally. This is all about contract negotiations. So Marissa is going to just say something briefly about the town hall, but before you do, let me ask Gus.
Since you're on the membership topic, I received an email, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about the membership being increased, or how much are we talking?
I didn't get an email about it being increased.
I haven't heard that either.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, and I would be told, because I am a vice chair of 15, so, yeah, no,
That sounds like bad information, because
Well, I hope it is, because
if the
you
leadership,
paid enough.
if the leadership doesn't know about a fee increase, it's not happening.
Okay.
So Marissa, go ahead and talk about the bargaining, the town hall this Saturday on contract negotiations.
You can come at as late as 11. They do feed us something when you get there. Just sign in. There's no cost, but you do need to call into the 866 number at the resource center to let them know you're coming, so they can have enough food for everybody. Okay, and I'll be in my purple shirt, probably DLC and jeans, and Kara's going to help and direct people so you see a familiar face, and we'll just all sit together and listen to what they have to say. Okay.
Kara, you want to add anything about the town hall this Saturday?
It'll be 10 to 1 at the Holiday Inn over here on Capitol Plaza. Parking is validated, so it's free for everybody to come. It's going to be a brunch, and all the chairs, the vice chair, the bargaining team is going to be there, giving out information, bargaining updates, and answering any questions that anyone has.
And Stacy was at the last town hall meeting, and she said, this is Stacy Jarvis in Procurement Division, she said she'd just tell a little bit about what the benefits of going to a town hall are.
Well, I attended the February 11th town hall, and believe me, I was very reluctant to give up a Saturday to go. But I sit next to Inga, and Inga is very persuasive, and she talked me into going, and she sat next to me. And I actually found the purpose of the town hall was really to make the rounds and get input from members about what sorts of things they were interested in the contract negotiations. I was very interested because, well, the first thing I immediately found out was there's very much a difference between enforcement issues and bargaining. So and I thought it was very helpful because At the meeting, they described what enforcement issues were. There were things like out-of-class issues, reclassification, management issues when it comes to enforcing your contract, bilingual pay issues, or safety issues. But those weren't the issues we were to discuss that day. We were talking about bargaining for our contract to improve sick leave, travel pay, I suppose, or travel reimbursement, layoff issues, wages, and protecting and securing our retirement. So there was a lot of input from a wide variety of members. I took down most every comment because I was surprised at the creativity and of the ideas, well beyond the ideas that I thought would be involved in bargaining our contract. So I pretty much stayed all day, and as I said, I'm really reluctant to give up a Saturday. So I found it. I think I learned a little bit more about the membership and the union, and I think I came away with a better understanding of what we were trying to achieve through bargaining of our contract. So I'm sort of thinking about going to the next meeting. But again, I took a whole list of notes. I found it very interesting. So thank you for letting me share that.
Thanks a lot, Stacy. Okay, Kara, we talked, just mention the June 5th rally, and then after that, James is going to introduce the contract negotiators, because I know that's why you're all here.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So real quick, we're having a rally. We're having a rally on June 5th, and everybody should have this in front of them. We're just trying to get a head count because the rally is at the Capitol, and it's not exactly walking distance from here to the Capitol. And so we're trying to arrange a bus to come over, but we need to gauge on how many people are even interested in attending over here. So if you guys are interested in attending, if you can, some point in time during the meeting, and then hand me this before you leave, just fill this out on what you're, if you're interested in going. And I'll be collecting this from now until mid-May and following up with more information for you guys. And we're trying to get 10,000 people out there from all the state agencies, from over here all the way up to Rancho Cordova and even Redding. So hopefully we can go ahead and we want 10,000, hopefully we can have 15,000 or more. So let me know if you have any questions, Inga or James, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. And so what you guys have been waiting for, I'd like to introduce Maria Patterson and Keith, who will go ahead, and they're from the bargaining team, and answer any questions that you guys have.
So, my name is Maria Patterson. I'm actually the vice chair of bargaining 15. And the town halls, we kicked them off 2 months ago. We did 18 town halls throughout California because we wanted to hear, we wanted to listen, we wanted to know what you guys wanted in our contract, right? It wasn't just the bargaining team asking their opinions, their ideas, or I want this. No, it's about us. Okay, there's 95,000 of us, 9 bargaining units that we have to cover, all of us in solidarity, right? Because we're one. We're all SEIU. We are the state of California, right? So I got involved because of my work sites, what DGS did to me. And then I took it a little bit step further because I wanted changes in our contract. I wanted more, so I stepped up a little bit more. Then I became a district bargaining unit representative, and then I said, no, I want a little bit more. I wanted to have a little bit more say-so, so I stepped up again. Out of the 18 town halls, I attended 15 of them. I heard, I listened, and we made sure we brought everything back. We came up with 4 majority themes: healthcare, retirement security, pay raise across the board for everybody. That's an economic justice proposal that we passed, which is at the ratification of our contract, if we're all agreed, we get $2,500. 2014, 7% increase in pay. 2015, 9% interest in pay. Because, we have to do, I know it sounds unrealistic maybe to you guys that we're asking so much, but one, if we go with a COLA and cost of living, right, when the cost of living only goes up 1%. That's 1% is all we're gonna get, really? With the furloughs that a lot of our members lost their homes, couldn't live, we're barely balancing back. So that 2,500 would do a little, needed extra cash that, to buy maybe a pair of shoes that a lot of custodians can't afford. I mean, that's reality. I mean, the reality is we as a custodian, we have to decide a gallon of milk or gas in the car to go to work. Because that's how we live. Enough is enough. I'm part of the bargaining team, but I'm only as strong as what you guys make us. We're fighting for all of us. The power comes with you guys. June 5th, we should have at least, it would be great to have 10,000 members show up, because it would show that we're in solidarity for a contract that we need. We have passed 31 propositions to better our work environment. We have listened. Here we are again doing these meetings because we want to know what you think of how we're moving forward, because it's about us moving together in solidarity. We are the union, not just me, because I'm part of the bargaining team. You guys, me, all of us, we're together, we're SEIU Local 1000. And I'm here because, one, it's important. I want a fair 3-year contract. We're fighting for that. We have unit-specific issues. If any of you have any issues, email Brenda Modkins, your chair of bargaining at 1, Sophia Perkins, chair of bargaining at 4. We all listen, because it's about us. Thank you very much.
Good morning, good afternoon to the bid contract. So this quote will be obsolete within a month. July 1st will be the expiration date of this contract. And to get the new contract in force, it will take a rally, June 5th, of everyone to wear purple. Okay? Now we have 95,000 state employees, which is equivalent to watching a soccer game. Anytime you want to watch a soccer game and the camera pans around the audience, that's what 100,000 people look like. So roughly 95,000 people work for the state of California, and we're working together here to establish a uniform contract, and that's why we wear purple. Okay? We've had several town hall meetings, and we took issues, and the meetings were at these various locations.
Here's the town hall meeting, they gave us one of these t-shirts.
There's one this Saturday at the Holiday Inn. Okay? So essentially, we're coming out of the 2013 contract. We're coming out of this contract. Coming out of this 2013 contract package to a new package, a 3-year package, with more benefits included. And within this package, we have compensation, we have medical, we have common good, and other themes. Now, these are called themes. Out of the 2013 contract package, we're coming out with 2013 3% raise. And also, we're coming out of this package with getting our 65% PLP back. Okay, and we're coming into the new package with a 2014 7% wage increase, and a 2015 9% wage increase, and a $2,500, let me put it over here, $2,500 bonus offer on the table. And so in total, this will be about 7.65.
I have a question on that 3%.
Yes,
Is that overall, or is that only if you've been at the top of your?
that's correct, top step.
So not everybody's getting that.
When you do eventually get to it, okay, you get your 3%. Whenever you make it, okay? Yeah. And next year, this is across the board for everyone. These, in our next contract, this will be across the board for everyone, but these will be available in 2014, in 2015.
Do all those occur on July 1?
These two will occur on July 1, okay? And if the governor accepts it, the $2,500 bonus will be available also. Now,
But not until 2015 or in 2013?
well,
As
this is
soon
a
as we
20,
ratify our contract.
and this is, let me just put this down, this contract will go to what, 2016?
Three-year contract.
Three-year contract, 2016 contract package. Okay, and there's a lot more to add to this, but according to time, everybody wants money, okay? So currently, we're coming out of tax season. We're coming out of tax season. And we're heading toward legislative. We're heading toward legislative session. Now, we're trying to get this package incorporated right about now in legislative session when the government is going to argue about money. At the same time, adopt our package. They may accept our proposals, they may reject our proposals, and they may modify our proposals. Now, we'd be very fortunate if we can get 100% acceptance. They may try to modify these numbers, okay? But this is what we have on the table. And the contract, the 2013 contract for all of the units, we're at 2015, and everybody else has different units. In fact, all the units are here, the units, okay? So the deficit for the state was so dire that they went into the contract and took money out of our salary. And so in the contract, it doesn't show a provision for PLP. It doesn't show a 15% pay cut, and it doesn't show a 5% pay cut. Our 2013 contract shows that we've been getting paid as though nothing happened. So, was it the site agreement? Yeah. Developed proposals that we get our PLP back. Okay? And the 3% was already in our contract. So we can stand to look for a 7.65% raise in our end of July paycheck. Okay, and what's an average salary? Premium average salary? 3,000? 325, 3,000. So let's just say $3,000, what, 7.65? 7.65%. So that's 0, 15, 19, 22.
I know.
So it's
$230.
$230.
Wow.
That is 7.65.
I don't understand how you
No.
could call the DLC and increase.
Now, what this council suggests is that the money that the state took out for our salaries, you have to work to pay it back.
It's not like you're getting it.
Get your full pay.
And we're running out of time, so.
Yeah, so we wanna open it up to questions now. Maria, if you wanna go up, and any of us who have any thoughts,
So there's no way that they can take that part, the 3%, when I'm talking about and have been for several years, there's no way that they can take that away from you.
No. And see, and people, I'll share this with you. I was under the impression when we first got, FERDA, that really pissed me off because I was halfway being a member leader and halfway, and I'm like, saying, well, what are they gonna do? And then I thought, what are we gonna do? Because I'm part of this, right? We didn't have a say-so because the legislature threw it in their bill. They voted on it, it became a bill. So we didn't really have a say-so when we took them to court and everything. It was in their favor because we were in their budget, right? The good thing about all this is I'm also involved on the political side of the arena. We have 2/3 assembly that we voted in to stand by state workers. And that's why we have, precinct walks, we have phone banking to put people in office that stand with us. And out of this contract, you guys, we have already something very positive that occurred. Dr. Pan, outsourcing, right? AB 906. That's positive. Later that afternoon, what did we do? We TA'd our first tentative agreement, outsourcing, supporting the work of the side letter to step in our contract and secure it, because that right there has saved the state of California millions of dollars already. That SEIU1000 has identified all this frivolous money going out the door with outsourcing. The reality is, enough is enough, It is time. We need you to stand with us. We are your bargaining team, and we're fighting for a good contract. All of us. So, if you, nothing else, you guys don't want to get involved, don't want to be steward, I get that. There's life, right? Show up. Bring your kids. Bring your mom. Because your job affects more than just your livelihood. I know mine does. It affects my daughter when I can't help her with diapers for my grandbaby. That's reality. Join us. It's a matter of us, one, fighting for our contract. I mean, it's you guys have to be all in with us. These right here, before you guys leave, I want you to sign them, put your name here. When we meet with the state, we sit here, there, on the next row facing us. We want to put all these up behind us. We want them to see we have memory for anti-bullying proposition that we put forward. We're enough. We're human beings. Really? Bullying has to stop. And we want this in our contract because supervisors and managers tend to bully us and ridicule us and get away with it, right? And what happens, right? This is positive. So we want you also to sign these and support us. You had a question?
Yeah, I just wanted some clarification. The maximum starting July 1 is 7.65% on top of the signing bonus.
Correct. Correct.
So is that starting the 7% for 2014? Does that start July 1 of 2014?
The new 2000 fiscal year.
14 and
Right.
then okay.
Right.
And you have to be at the top of your tier.
No, not on this one.
Oh, not on that one.
Yeah, but this one, 3%, yes.
Yeah.
And who isn't, that's been with the state 10 years, you're maxed out, right? So A lot of us are gonna get that 3%. Go ahead.
You know, this is all new to me, so I have a question in regards to the 3% that we're getting. How does that number pop up? Why couldn't it have been 15%? Why couldn't it have been 7%? Why is it 3%?
Because we shot for 9%.
Why
And
was
that's,
that
and
9%
and
even?
that, and we negotiated our contract, Arnold was still in office.
Okay, but my question is, why 9%?
That's
Where's the
what
number,
they
where do
agreed.
these numbers come from?
That we did the research on what we thought the state could afford. We did realistically research on what we could present. We want what we're asking for. We have a research department that does all that with us as we're passing these proposals. We just don't come up with the numbers because that's the number we chose.
That's what I was wondering.
Right.
How does it come up with these 3?
And we all agreed, we're not gonna go with cost of living. Because if you only get 0.5%, so what, we're gonna get 0.5% the first year? Hell no. Hell no, the furloughs killed half of us. So, you know, this is just gonna balance us out to get where we should maybe be down 10 years ago, right? Because we're like 20 years down the road right now.
Sure.
So we're trying to move forward, get us there in a positive way, keeping everything real. Because if we're asking for too high of a number, they're not gonna agree to nothing. You know, we did help with a yes on 30. We did help with a no on 32 that kept our voice alive. I mean, so, I know that maybe it's weird numbers, but they're realistically numbers, how the economy's gonna grow and pick up. Because if you notice, all the banks are sucking up them houses again. Okay? They don't have a problem doubling the money and getting, again, hitting us again in our pockets, right? Because that's what's happening now. One of the proposals that we agreed on, that we passed, is that we joined with the state, go after CalPERS, demand that they get our retirement security money that they've invested in all these banks. We want it back. We want it back in our retirement. It's time. We're doing actions throughout California. If they see the actions, we could do this. We can do this, but we need everybody on board.
Real quick, to cut in real quick, I wanted to introduce the director of our research department, Shane Kaiser, is here, and she's the one that actually does the research. We can figure out the numbers, where the money is and everything, so I don't know if you want to chime in, but I wanted to introduce her.
Is that information available to us? Well, your findings?
I would say,
you know,
so people
what-
can see you.
Okay. Oops. So what we do to help come up with numbers, we don't just choose a number, but we're following very closely what's going on with the tax revenues that are coming in, you know, because there's regular reports coming out. So it looks like revenues are up, they're higher than what was projected, so we're monitoring that. The May revise of the budget will be released very shortly, so we'll be crawling all over that thing to take a look at it, you know, and see how, you know, how that has changed from the original budget that the governor presented in January. And, you know, then we put together, you know, dollars, like how much, if we ask for 1%, how much money is that? Now, don't ask me to tell you right here, because I don't really carry these things around in my head. But, you know, so then it's very easy at the bargaining table, you know, to take that as your building block and say, all right, so if we ask for 10%, it'll be this much, or 5%, and so on. And so we try to put it all together and see, you know, and then push the envelope. You know, go for the maximum that we think, you know, they could possibly, you know, squeeze out, knowing that at a bargaining table there's going to be pushback, there's going to be give and take. So, you know, there will inevitably have to be, you know, some meeting in the middle. You know, so that kind of tells you what research is doing and how we try to contribute. Yes.
Is it correlated to the CPI or anything like that?
Well, we know what, you know, the CPI is, although it's very low. You know, inflation has been extremely low throughout the whole recession, and it hasn't started rising.
What about the last 20?
Oh, going back further?
If we were to do the whole 20 years,
Oh,
where do we sit?
Well,
I think we're behind the 8 ball a little bit.
yeah. To try to,
you're looking at, if you look at this handout, it lays that out. Well, I think it's a good thing to bear in mind, but the idea that we could make it all back in 1 year is not gonna. Yeah. Yeah. Why not have that as being in the back of all of our minds? We want to get back to where we.
Well, and not just that, when, and this is, I'm gonna ask all of you guys, when has the bargaining team been throughout California again asking what are you guys thinking? We want your input, it's not just us, you know? We have, like I said, we've traveled again, you know, I'm not a unit one, but I know that whatever issues you have, I will get your question answered. I know what to do at the master table for all of us. I know what needs to happen for bargaining at 15, but we're all in this together. It's not just because I'm 15, I'm 1, I'm 4, all of us. Go ahead.
Do we have any firm dates? If we submit a package, do they have a certain amount of time to accept or reject?
Well, we are actually again back with the state next week, union specific. Then we're back at the table, and we're trying to crunch everything. That's why we already have 31 proposals passed, because we want it ready, intact, and in place by the time the old one expires. We want a new one right there. And we're pushing it. We're pushing it. And we're keeping everything realistically. Like I said, that expires June 30th. We want the new one in place July 1st. That's what we're pushing. Those are the numbers we're looking at.
Can I ask you a question about the state workday analysis? On year 10, 11, they said we got a 7% increase. I didn't, how was that an increase?
Well, no, we did, because we got one of the only was taken away, and then we got the 3% back that they was taken away from us.
But that's really jacket wages.
Just stop being.
This handout was put out by one of our shop steward in another DLC, but I thought it was pretty enlightening, so I included it. But I don't. So the bargaining team did put it out. I just thought it was helpful to have.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what it is, and that's the only thing I can think of. When we got
You got some more questions there, Maria?
Go ahead.
So what was the state's first reaction when we proposed that?
I didn't hear the question.
What was the state's I guess reaction when we passed that proposal over? They it was just blank, like all the rest when we kept passing them, because they were surprised that the first week we had everything ready, because we're serious, right? Enough is enough. We're done. We're tired. We're moving forward. You guys are coming with us. We have to do this, basically. They realize we're serious. Like I said, it's not just about SEIU1000 members. Yvonne Walker has stepped up. She also did the SB 1234, retirement security for the private sector, that she has Senator De Leon supporting her to try to cover the private sector so we can back off our retirement. I mean, she's doing other things than working on our contract, because all of us, the bargaining team is working on everything else. We're doing, the bigger all picture. We're trying to cover our jobs and get to where we need to be. Yeah, it's not where we should be, but it's a step moving forward to get some of the money back that was taken away from us. And we're doing the best that we can in a positive manner to reflect that. Because we're not taking no for an answer.
Stacey, you have a question? No? Okay, back there, you bet.
Okay, so when you guys went to the bargaining unit in 2013 contract, what was the number? Was it actually 3% and you guys agreed to it? Or did you go with 7% and you guys negotiated? And what did they come back? Was that the correct number they
We asked
have?
for 5%.
Okay.
And Arnold was in, and he didn't want to give us 0.
Okay.
And we said, okay, at 3%. And that's how we came up with a 3%. Because Arnold wasn't budging. We didn't want any more furloughs. And this time we wanted the assembly to be aware that we knew that we knew that if they didn't support state employees, we're not getting them reelected. Because we do have a say-so by voting them out when it's time for their elections to show up again.
We need you on that team, Yvette. You gotta get on that team. I can
That
tell.
was a concession on the retirement contribution thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The 3%, so I thought it was an offset.
So, you know, all I ask all of you is to get on board. We need to do this for our contract.
And you know, I want to make a point, like Jane, when you go to the union events, like say the town hall, like Jane, when the governor released his budget, she did an analysis that was incredible. And there was like handouts. So those of you who want more of the analytical side, if you go to these things, there are like incredible speakers that the union brings in. They brought in people from the Chicago teacher strike, you name it. And it's like, I am being educated. It's like such a privilege to sit there and hear some of these people talk. So it's like, it's really, I mean, if you really want to get engaged, you'll become very well educated and you'll become a member of whatever committee you want. I mean, it's all volunteer. You know, like Maria says, it's all us. You know, whatever happens, it's just people like you, Maria, you know, those of us who are active, we're just volunteers.
So, I wanted to get back to the historical costs. You know, this pay analysis, have we submitted a historical analysis on state wages?
What are you looking at?
This
I don't have a clue where, I mean, Inga said it came from one of her fellow, I don't know where they got it. I can't answer to this right now.
But does the union, does SEIU have a historical, do we have historical data on our wages?
Yeah. It's all, can they find on the website or the?
I don't think it's up on the website.
If somebody wants to get something from
From the bargaining table though?
Yeah.
Is it-
Yeah.
Do they see this?
The
that
research?
You haven't gotten
Yeah.
raised?
Well, also, I mean, it's on the state's, I think it's DPA website that you can go up there and they have the actual contracts going back over many years with all the different unions. You know, so there's a lot of information that's available online from the state itself.
Because I think those are compelling
But you can
facts.
dig in, that takes work, so we put some of that together ourselves.
I think those are really compelling facts to bring forward, and I think that creates a strong negotiation position for the state.
Thank you.
You know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was anti-state worker. What's Governor Brown's position? Have you guys been able to gauge that so far?
You know, Ken Cooley spoke, Assemblymember Cooley from the Assembly, and what his general sort of summary was is that in the Assembly, they're a little more pro-labor, in the Senate, they're a little bit more constrained, you know, and that Governor Brown has been making comments that are, you know, keep the purse strings tight. So he's been making comments like that. So, you know, that says to me, I mean, and that's why Yvonne Walker is gearing up the union, doing the town hall meetings, planning, you know, like each week you're gonna see a new emphasis on health, on wages. You're just gonna see that happening, and the June 5th rally is
Our
really
theme,
critical.
right? One of our themes is healthcare. Well, we're gonna do a march on CalPERS when they have the board meeting. We're doing it, we're gearing up. After that, we're gonna hit banks, Wells Fargo, we're gonna hit places to let them know we want our money back. Just as we do that, we're also holding, the state's gonna see, we're not playing anymore, enough, and we want our new contract in place. We've endured everything that we've endured, right?
I was getting off the exit to the freeway to my house, and I go, oh my God, there's a huge billboard, SEIU, state, what is it, have you seen it? State workers work hard, what is it? And I mean, it was like, whoa, that's really not, I mean, we have visibility.
You know, the reality is,
SEIU.
we can't close California just with the bridges, just with a lot of our work areas if we gear up and we do it right. But we, like I said, are you guys willing to fight for a fair contract? That's where we're at. We're here, we're doing what we have to do. Are you guys ready?
In our next speaker series, we're gonna have somebody talk about wages, because people are going, oh God, we're really hurt, or we have a budget deficit, are we gonna be able to get a raise? Can we really ask for this? Is it too much? Well, we're gonna have somebody talk about the money is all being distributed, it's who it's being distributed to. And they're gonna show you, because like last year, the Speaker Pro Tem of the Senate, they had the budget project, and they had us have these little, little gadgets, who would you vote for? And there's a room of like 500 people, what should you cut, what should you keep? And it was really enlightening because we couldn't agree, we couldn't have a consensus. And the legislature has to have 2/3, so, but it's like there is money there, it's just who are you gonna give it to? Are we gonna charge the oil companies that we're the only state that doesn't charge taxes on the oil they're bringing out of the ocean? I mean, there's all sorts of things. So in the last speaker series this month, we're gonna have somebody speak about that issue.
And can I just say something? She mentioned the word money. And, great. So, okay, so, money is green, okay? So, if you're in the red, you're what? Okay? So, let's talk about money. Got a problem with that? No problem. Okay, let's talk about money. All right, what's it call it, red? Purple? Red, all right. Okay. So when you're in the red,
Where are we currently?
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what happens when you're in the black? Okay, when you're in the black. So therefore, when you flip a dollar bill over, it's green on one side and it's black on the other. Right? Right. Okay. So. Okay. So in one case, if you're in the black, you're in a surplus. Okay? And if you're in a negative, you're in a deficit. Okay? If you're in the plastic, you have a debit card, or you have a credit card.
So where are we?
Where are we? Okay.
Where's the state? What's the future status of the state on that?
Well, currently, we're in the black, okay? We're in the surplus, all right?
That's the whole state in general?
Well, according to the Sacramento Bee,
Wow.
and
We know how to do
Governor
that.
Brown, we're in the, okay, so.
I'd like to just talk something that's even a little bit back, going back to what Maria was saying, was our strength. You're talking joining and having this strength. But really our strength comes from, do we have a strike clause? And do we have the power to stand behind that? Because really that's the only thing that's gonna make someone shake or move.
So, are you saying that if our contract had a strike clause, you guys are all going to strike with us, right? Is that what you're saying?
So what I'm saying is, we never had one.
We haven't had one because.
And therefore they never take it serious. That's why you go from 9% off, a 9% offering to a 3%. Here, we'll give you the crumbs.
No, they didn't want to give us anything. We had asked for 5%. Arnold was in office.
She said 9.
No, different. She was talking about something else.
On some things, if you wait for permission, you'll never get it. If you wait for them to say it's okay, you'll never get it.
When Arnold was in office, so they didn't want to do nothing for us.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, are we ever gonna take a stance on if we're gonna have a vote as far as we're going to ever have a strike clause so that we have actual power? Or are we just always just gonna have just a screaming voice?
I'd like to say that if what they're calling for, if we have 10,000 or 15,000 people at the Capitol, I don't think we need a strike. I think those legislators will be paying attention. I mean, I admit, like, you escalate as necessary. You don't go in with your guns blazing, but it's a good point.
But why do you believe that just how many people will make a difference?
Because those are voters.
But look, it
But
doesn't.
if the people walk up and
Past election, you know, we have labor and voters, put them in. They knew that we had the power.
But 95,000 votes, and that's if everyone in the union or the state employee actually voted.
It's not just state employees that vote them in office, it's also your community, it's also where you live, it's also your family members. But I mean, we just didn't get 95,000 votes to get these people in office. We fought with our families, with our communities to get where we needed to be, and that's what we're doing this time. The difference is, we're engaging all our members. All our members need to be engaged, because if they haven't suffered enough with the furloughs and everything else, and the malarkey, because they're not having a hard time. Assembly is living fat, okay? Let's get real here. All these people are living fat. We're the ones that are suffering. When do we say enough? Do we really not? We're giving up one PLP to show up June 5th, your last PLP, to show up for a rally to support a good, fair contract for 3 years. Is that enough? Because really, if we had a strike section in our contract, would people really leave their work and go strike?
What's leverage? It's leverage.
It's leverage.
It's leverage, just like the air traffic controllers.
Well,
They
then
get
that's
whatever they
something
want because
I will
they
take
have
back to the table and tell them.
That's what
I
I'm saying.
heard
It's
at the
a
ziggurat that they want a strike sanction in our contract. See what they tell me.
You know,
That's all I can do,
none of
right?
us really want to go
All right.
that route, but if we have to, then we do.
Thank
you. I'm here also
Some
to
rally,
take
they tell
information
you
back.
where you have to be, either on the east end or on the west end. They don't want to be bothered.
I want to say, you who are calling for this, I want you to help me. I want you to help me here. I want you to help me here at the ziggurat, okay? Because I want action, not just talk. I want you to help me because, you know what? We're going to be up against it. They're not going to just roll over. And so we're going to be doing actions here at the ziggurat. And you have to help Kara and James and Michael and all of us that are here. So, and that takes guts. It takes taking some
Well,
risks.
let me ask you something. Maybe you should go back and find out, is there any provisions that our government, like, is there a reason why we don't have a strike clause? Number one, that's the first reason. Is there something that the government says that we can't?
We'll bring that-
Someone that we can't have?
We'll bring that back, some analysis about the strike clause.
Okay.
Because if
Yeah.
the work doesn't get done, they're gonna start listening to us.
Absolutely. If
You know what Yvonne Walker says? She says, you know, like she's a little more militant than her members. And as soon as her members line up behind her, she'd take us out in a minute. That's what I've heard her say. But you know what? We have a problem with members and state workers, you know, showing up. Just going to the Capitol on your lunch hour. It's really hard to get people at the ziggurat to go to the Capitol at your lunch.